Morning, students. Now we are going to see what is the role of hypothesis in social science research. Social science research. A research hypothesis is the hypothesis that is used to test the relationship between two or more variables. A social science research can be defined in simple terms as a scientific study about the action and the interaction by human that explores on the human perceptions, thoughts, understandings, and behaviors with social orientation and integration. It is identical that no investigation is made on two social variables if they are not related to each other, and if a social variable is investigated independently, its relativity to another variable would be at least considered to explore its importance and significance in the social context. What are the definitions regarding hypothesis is? A hypothesis is a tentative generalization, the validity of which remains to be tested. In its most elementary stages, the hypothesis may be any hunch, guess, imaginative idea, or intuition whatsoever, which becomes the basis of action or investigation. P.V. Young, the idea of a temporary but central importance that becomes the basis of useful research is called a working hypothesis. Characteristics of hypothesis. The hypothesis should be clear and precise to consider it to be reliable. If the hypothesis is a relational hypothesis, then should be stating the relationship between variables. The hypothesis must be specific and should have scope for conducting more tests. The way of explanation of the hypothesis must be very simple, and it should also be understood that the simplicity of the hypothesis is not related to its significance. What are the sources of hypothesis? Scientific theories, the resemblance between the phenomena, observations from past studies, present experience, and from that's competitors. And what are the objectives of hypothesis? Nature of formulation. After going through this unit, uh, we can infer the ideas regarding defined hypothesis and list the sources which are helpful in hypothesis formulation, differentiate between various types of hypothesis, discuss various methods to test hypothesis, and describe the significance of hypothesis. Now we are going to see that types of hypothesis: explanatory hypothesis, descriptive hypothesis, analogical hypothesis, working hypothesis, and null hypothesis. Types of research in social science. Basically, social science studies can be identified into two: inductive investigation and deductive investigation. Inductive studies are to direct the investigations to establish the theory from the observations and patterns of social occurrence. The deductive studies are to investigate whether the established theory has existence in the present context of the society. The relationship and distinguish between inductive and deductive studies are observation, then pattern and hypothesis, theory, hypothesis, observation, and confirmation. This is the stages for that deductive and inductive investigation. Functions of hypothesis. Hypothesis helps in making an observation and experiment as possible. It becomes the start point for the investigation. Hypothesis helps in verifying the observations. It helps in directing the inquiries in the right direction. What are the uses of hypothesis means? It is a starting point for many research work. It helps in selecting and collecting pertinent facts. It is an aid to explanation. It helps in testing theories. It works as a basis for future knowledge. What is the role of hypothesis in research? First, it is an operating tool of the theory. Secondly, the hypothesis acts as a pointer to inquiry. Thirdly, the hypothesis enables us to select relevant and pertinent facts and makes our task easier. Fourthly, the hypothesis provides guidance by way of providing the direction, pointing to inquiry, enabling to select pertinent facts, and helping to draw specific conclusions. Finally, hypotheses play a significant role in facilitating advancement of knowledge beyond one's value and opinions. Statistical hypothesis, the collection and organization and analysis of data, the drawing inferences about a population. It can be seen that statistics can be classified into two main branches: descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. Descriptive statistics consist of methods dealing with the collection, tabulation, summarization, and presentation of data. Inferential statistics consist of methods that permit one to reach conclusions and make estimates about population based upon information from a sample. Thank you.